Gamifying education simply means to bring aspects of gaming to the educational environment. Now, I don't mean we need to infuse our lessons with blood and gore that a lot of our students like to enjoy in their games these days, but what I do mean is we need to take other aspects, these addictive gaming concepts, and apply them to our lessons, infuse our lessons with those instead. We need to model our lessons while keeping certain basic concepts in mind. These 4 gaming principles were originally mentioned by a guy named Keith Stewart in The Guardian, found at that URL there. The first principle that we need to put into our lessons as we create them is the idea that failure isn't a big deal. When students fail, they learn. I couldn't tell you how many times I've died over the years in various video games I've played. I can tell you, though, that every time I died, I learned what not to do. I learned to do stuff in a different way in the hopes that my adjustments would make me successful. When my adjustments didn't work, I made more adjustments. This idea of allowing failure teaches students to continue to rethink and reinvent in order to be successful. Another reason the whole failing idea is a good one is that if someone fails at something, that means they haven't mastered it yet. I remember dying over and over again in certain points of different games because I didn't have the skills to continue. The game didn't say, "Oh well, we have to get on to level 8 before Friday." No, it sadistically said, "Game over," repeatedly for what felt like an eternity until I finally achieved the desired level of competency in that particular stage of the game. This is completely backward from the way learning is approached in many classrooms, where Billy, for example, fails the chapter 1 test, and then he continues on to chapter 2 without ever actually mastering chapter 1. Failing in the gamification model leads to mastery at every level. That means if a student doesn't pass an assignment, they do it over and over and over again until they actually complete it at an acceptable level. Secondly, we need to keep in mind that games make students autonomous. One of the many buzzwords floating around in education today is student-centered learning. Gamification makes this possible. It provides an environment wherein students are motivated to take their learning into their own hands. According to Tom Chatfield, in his TED Talk, games reward our brains in 7 different ways. I'm going to mention 3 of them that really speak towards autonomy. First of all, they encourage autonomy through experience bars. Students always know where they stand in the overall scheme of things, and they know how much further they need to go in order to reach the next level, or how much they have to do in order to excel to the upper echelons of their class, or even exactly what they have to do in order to reach the mediocre echelons if they so prefer. Secondly, Chatfield mentions that multiple long and short-term goals are seen throughout many different games. Again, they can see where they are and where they want to be, and there can be overarching assignments or quests, as we say in the gaming world, that last for several days or weeks, as well as short quests that can be completed in a matter of minutes. Providing students with these short, easily attained victories motivates them to press on toward the more difficult wins. Last, rapid and frequent feedback is crucial. It is crucial to provide students with this type of dialogue as they progress through a gamified course. Nothing is more exhilarating than completing a quest and seeing the experience bar move, or hearing the "you've just completed a quest" song. Conversely, there's nothing more frustrating than waiting for hours or days for feedback on a particular quest, whether positive or negative. The third principle we need to keep in mind that gaming does a really good job of, and teachers should do a better job of, is rewarding the students, or the players, if you will. Students live for rewards. Whether it's a sticker or some candy, they always enjoy getting something for their efforts. With gamification, students are constantly rewarded in several different ways. First of all, they just have the satisfaction of completing a quest, as I mentioned a moment ago. The "you just completed a quest" tone. They also get badges or miscellaneous other rewards for their extra effort. And then also there's just the satisfaction they get through competing and seeing their name near the top of the list, or knowing, man, they need to pick it up if it's near the bottom. Positive reinforcement of a desired behavior leads to more frequent occurrences of that behavior Gamification not only makes this possible, but natural. Last, the fourth principle I want to mention here that we need to keep in mind as we create our lessons is we need to exaggerate victories. I see the effect of exaggerated victories every day when I high-five a student just for coming into my classroom. This effect is multiplied when they receive positive reinforcement for doing well on an assignment or making a great comment in class, whether through an air five or something as silly and insignificant as a Skittle, just one Skittle. Students thirst for that positive feedback as a result of their victories. I believe that if we implement these principles into our methods, our students will ultimately be motivated to learn, leading to more success in our classrooms. Let's get started.